Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. We're talking about a guy who's not going to be suspended and right now is going to play, which is new, and that's Michael Thomas. You know the story about Michael Thomas at this point. He was on a rocket ascent after a rookie year where he went for 1,000 yards. His second year, he goes over 1,200 yards. His third year in the league, he leads the league in catches and has 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns. Then in 2019, he sets the league record for catches. He's the AP Offensive Player of the Year, 1,700 yards and 149 catches. And since that season in 2019, when he had 149 catches in a single season, he has 56 total in 3 years. 40 in 7 games in 2020 in the COVID year. Did not play at all in 21. And then last year came back. You think, oh my goodness, look at this second half against the Falcons. He's got it. And then a dislocated toe, and then some mystery, and then we don't know where he is. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't play the rest of the year, 3 games in. But he's out there practicing now. And he's going through full reps with Marshawn Lattimore. And he's a full participant in practice. So the question is, Michael Thomas, are you 100%?
I don't really know what your 100% is. I'm always chasing perfection and trying to, win every rep. I'm a competitor. I don't prepare to lose. I prepare to execute and make the play. So it's a process. It's a learning process. But the good thing about the Saints, we have a lot of great competition on the other side of the ball. So I feel like it won't take long, but you got to get in the groove. You got to get, some things down. But with the coaching and the players I'm surrounded by, I'm not really worried. I'm just taking it one day at a time.
I think that's fine. I think what the Saints media is probably getting at is, do you feel limited physically by your health? Does anything hurt? Are you mentally not prepared to do something? Is that at all in the equation, or are you fully able to go? We're not asking you to go be an all-pro receiver on August the 2nd. That's not what we're saying. But do you feel good? And so he kind of dismissed that and said, I don't know what y'all mean by 100%, but I'm out there, I'm competing. The Saints are a good environment for me. And so that I thought was just fine. Next question is do you have to prove you can stay healthy for an entire season?
I go hard, so sometimes, you might get injured going hard. I don't loaf, I go hard, and sometimes when you go hard, you got to learn how to channel it a little bit. But, I love this game. I love competing. The game doesn't change. It's the same thing, getting open, creating separation, making plays, and moving the chains. That's how I look at it. I don't really get caught up in, new style of the game where it's, a lot of questions and stuff. I just execute myself. Execute between those lines and just make sure I make my plays.
And so he didn't bite on that if he has to prove himself. The fact of the matter is Michael Thomas has gotten a huge contract. He's got $1 bajillion. And if he wants another one, he's going to have to prove he can do it. If he goes out there and gets hurt this year and plays 4 games, nobody's going to offer him another contract after this one with New Orleans is up. So in that sense, yeah, you do. And if you're a Saints fan, you'd really like him to prove he can stay healthy for a whole year, because that's really good for the team in black and gold if you can have him out there and he's close to what he once was. We know that. What I was interested in is hearing the clip. Okay, well, you haven't been healthy for 3 years now. People have doubted you. People have said your time's going to be up in New Orleans. The media is asking you questions like, hey, do you need to stay healthy, or do you feel okay? And the question is, does that put a chip on your shoulder?
The chip is very big. It's very big. It grows every day, I feel like, but that's a good thing about this game. You get to go out there and you get to attack someone, and then you get to go out there and you get to compete at a high level and score points and win games. So that's what I love the most, being able to win games, compete at a high level, help organization, help the guys around me, and I come from a winning culture from Ohio State, so that's what we was trained to do. We was trained to win everything. We kept score on everything. So we bring that here. A lot of guys that came from Ohio State, they bring that here too, and we just try to add to the pile.
I hope that's true. I hope the chip is growing and growing. Because I'm far removed from that situation. I don't cover the Saints day to day. I don't speak with Michael Thomas twice a week like the New Orleans media. I'm not at the game. Like I'm a little bit away. I just see what's reported. I'm basically no different than you, Joe Saints fan, in that way. But I get a little bit apprehensive when we don't know when Mike's coming back. Well, where is he? And the media's like, well, we haven't seen him. I don't think he's at practice. Like, was he at minicamp? I don't know. Is he? Well, when's he coming back? I don't know. What's the injury? I'm not really. And it's just like all this goes on, and it's the same thing that's going on across the street with Zion. But it's like, man, what's the deal? Like, do you care? Did you get the paycheck and you just say, I don't feel great. I'm not going out there. Like, because that is, you can't come back from that. But if, in fact, you want to believe this entire thing, which I have no reason not to, but if you want to believe this entire thing where he was hurt, had a different injury with the ankle, then he came back and he was pretty much ready to go, but then he hurt the toe and he just wasn't able to come back. He rested for a whole offseason, and he did come back for OTAs, and now he's kind of a full go in camp, and he is kind of ticked off about it. Like, I don't want to hear this anymore. Like, the chip grows. I want to prove I can be the best I can be. That's all you can hope for. The physical nature of this is what it is. If his body fails him, his body's going to fail him. But the mental thing, you can fix. Like, you can be mentally tough and have the right attitude. If your foot goes, your foot goes. It just is what it is. If you mentally engage and say, I'm going to be the dude again, like, that's one step. So hopefully that is the case. And Michael Thomas is sitting here going, these people think I can't do it. Watch me. These people doubt me. They think I don't care. No, I come from a winning culture at Ohio State. We won the first 4 years I was in New Orleans. We won the first 5 years I was in New Orleans. Watch me again. I hope that's the case. The variable here is now, you question where he is mentally when Drew Brees moves on. How committed are you and invested are you, and how much of your relationship with Jameis Winston is there? I don't know. Jameis Winston goes down, you got a backup quarterback in Andy Dalton who's past his prime. How much do you want to be out there? I don't know. Okay, well, we fixed that problem because you've brought in a proven quarterback in the league that's still in his prime years. What is your relationship with Derek Carr?
I think it's been progressing tremendously. Derek, he's a great leader. He's very vocal. He knows what he wants. He tells us what he wants. As an offense as a whole, we lean on him to be able to come out there and make his job easier. So we're taking it one day at a time, but we're doing a lot of communicating and, correcting our mistakes when they happen after practice or right after during special teams, certain situations. So I feel like that's something that's trending in the right direction, but we never want to feel like we arrived or we're 100% because it's a long season. And right now we're just in training camp. We haven't even played a preseason game yet, so we're just building, staying honest with ourselves and competing at a high level.
I feel like me personally, when I listen to professional athletes speak, I lean more to the side of you've signed a contract, you're here to play, go play. Which is why I get a little bit queasy when I look at the NBA where guys are just like, I'm not playing here, send me somebody somewhere else. Like, I don't love that part of professional sport. That said, I do understand how difficult it could be if you're a wide receiver, fully and 100% dependent upon another position on the field. Like, what other sport is fully dependent on another position on the field? Like, if you're the shortstop, you field ground balls, you throw it to first base, you go hit. If you're the left tackle, you just do your job. You do your assignment. If you're the small forward, like, you're going to get the ball some. Just do what you're supposed to do offensively and defend. If you're the wide receiver, you can do everything right. And if the quarterback either doesn't see it or makes a bad throw, like, you're worthless. Like, that's what other position in sports is like that? And so I understand some frustration if wide receivers in the league are cranky about their quarterback situation. And there's no evidence, in my opinion, or no evidence to me, at least, that Michael Thomas was irritated with the Saints quarterback position. But I'll tell you this, it's better now, and it should motivate you as a wide receiver to go, okay, I got a guy that can do this thing. There's not a throw on the board that he can't make. He's been there, done that. You're not going to show him anything he hasn't seen. I got a guy that can do this. So that should give some mental comfort to Michael Thomas, just that Derek Carr is there. So from the sound that I gathered from Michael Thomas, and this was yesterday, like I feel like he's healthy. He says a chip on his shoulder. He likes Derek Carr as a leader. And at this point, a week into camp, you can't feel much better as a Saints fan about the Michael Thomas situation. He's 30, so there's that. He's not the same guy he was, I don't think, when he was 25, but there's something there. And guess what? Something is a lot better than nothing, because what we've got in the last 3 years from Michael Thomas is nothing. Not his fault, not all his fault, but it is nothing. So the question is, you as Saints fans, like, what do you expect this year? What can you reasonably expect? And to me, I think the number one receiver, Michael Thomas, is gone. That's my opinion. I think possession receiver, second option, benefit to the team, all that stuff applies. Red zone target, sure-handed. He can do all of that. I don't think he can replicate. He was the perfect guy for Drew Brees. Created separation. Drew knew where the ball was going to go. Drew didn't have the biggest arm at that point. Thomas isn't a great deep threat. It was just a great match. I think Carr's going to stretch the field a little bit more than Drew did. I think he's going to go to Chris Olave in year 2 more than Dalton or Winston would do in year 1. I think the offense is going to look different this season than it did when Thomas and Brees were clicking. And Thomas was really the only reliable receiving threat on those teams. But Thomas can help. And I think that he will. I don't love the term injury prone. If you've had 3 Tommy Johns, okay, gotcha. You're toast. But if you're a basketball player and you sprain your ankle one time and then you come down awkwardly on your wrist 3 weeks later, like, does that mean your body sucks? Like, I'm not an orthopedic, but like, I think some guys just get unlucky. And maybe and hopefully Michael Thomas has gotten unlucky for 3 years. Now you got to do, on the other side, hope that he's a 2. I think Olave can be the 1. And I think the Saints can be a division winner and a playoff threat with Michael Thomas as the 2. You let Shaheed blow the top off. You let Olave draw the great assignment. You let Michael Thomas work from the slot, work the middle of the field, work the third down markers, work the red zone. And that's a good fit for him. The guy that made 149 catches for 1,700 yards isn't coming back. Can you catch me 700 yards worth and 7 touchdowns? That's good. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.